was reallocation of funds to ensure the mango purchasing kitty was upped from 13.9 million to 20.3 million. This is attached as Annex 7B, which is a board resolution on budget reallocation from a meeting that was done on 15th January 2026. Number 3, the board wrote a letter to the CEO Mfpp seeking explanation on why the approved mango delivery schedule was deviated from. This was through a letter dated 19th January 2026 on Rep Mfpp board ADM 01/2026, which is attached as Annex 7C. However, the CEO's response to the letter was deemed unsatisfactory, leading to its interdiction by the board. Another measure that was put in place was that the authority convened a meeting with the mango suppliers on 22nd January through a letter dated 20th January 2026 and Ref Mfpp admin SUWP/1/volume 2/003. And this meeting was to review supply performance and address non-adherence to delivery schedules. This is attached as Annex 7B. On 23rd January 2026, the authority, by a letter to the suppliers, Ref Mfpp admin SUWP/1/volume 2/004, reiterated the importance of adherence to mango delivery schedule and sourcing of mangoes from the wards that had not yet delivered mangoes to the factory. And this is attached as Annex 7E. Again, through a special board meeting held on 9th February 2026, and by the letter of Mfpp board/admin 02/2026, the CEO Mfpp was interdicted to pave way for investigation on the allegations leveled against him and subsequent appointment of the acting CEO. This is attached as Annex 7F. Then the board also appointed an ad hoc committee by a letter of Mfpp board/ADM 05/2026 dated 10th February to conduct an investigation regarding mango purchase by the authority in January and February 2026, which is attached as Annex 7G. So just to go through the questions that the chair raised, when did the authority become aware of the outcome from the farmers? We have contracted 7 suppliers, cooperative societies, and we usually have a WhatsApp group where we communicate matters that arise. And on Friday, we started picking mangoes on 8th, which was a Thursday, 9th and 10th. So on 9th evening, the CEO communicated to the cooperative societies that we would temporarily halt the intake of mangoes due to the overfilling of the ripening shed. And there was an immediate outcry. So I can say the authority learned of the outcry already on 9th January 2026. From this outcry, through the chair, we were able to convene the meeting that I've talked about, which was on 12th January 2026. And we have minutes that are attached here, where the cooperatives that had oversupplied were temporarily suspended from delivering mangoes to the factory. And this actually caused a further outcry from farmers that had already harvested their mangoes.
Madam CEO, in your narration, when you talk about 3 cooperatives, for posterity, it's always good to mention. You could have said this, this, and this.
Thank you, I'm well guided. The 3 cooperatives that had oversupplied were Makueni farmers, and I can refer to a table on Annex. Allow me to tabulate the figures that had been oversupplied.
Madam CEO, I am sure you are aware of the 3 cooperatives that were suspended,
Yes.
even without having to refer. Would you please name them?
Makuo Farmers, Mulilichale, and Kika Farmers.
Okay, thank you.
Can I proceed?
Yes, proceed.
So on question 2, what were the main concerns raised by the farmers? The main concerns were that the Deputy Governor had announced on date 6th January that the factory would start receiving mangoes by date 8th. And we communicated the same to our 7 cooperative societies.
The chair, we need to get the date correctly. Is it 6 or 7? We need to confirm when the notice was given. And the demand also. We need to know.
Madam Accounting Officer, as you give the dates, please indicate the month and the year, so that we may not assume it is date what of which month, which year.
For clarity, the Deputy Governor came to the plant on 6th January 2026, which was on a Tuesday, and she stated that the factory was ready to receive mangoes from 8th January 2026, which was a Thursday. So the main concerns raised by farmers were we had only opened receiving mangoes on 8th and 9th of January, but already by 9th evening, a communication was sent through the WhatsApp group that we were already full, our schedules, our ripening sheds were full, and that we could not receive mangoes. So the concerns were, how comes that in 2 days we were not able to receive any more mangoes, and some of the farmers claimed that they had just started picking mangoes from their farms. On number 3, on what specific immediate actions the authority undertook, I have read through the submission, and the points are available for clarity, which was actually on 12th January was a Monday. That was the Monday immediately after the first 2 days of picking mangoes. So we convened a meeting with the suppliers to address the issue of oversupply. And from this meeting, the cooperative societies were able to agree that the 3 cooperatives that had oversupplied would be halted, and their minutes signed by all members of cooperatives present to the effect of this.
Chair.
Let's have the mic, the honorable member.
Chair, Acting CEO is telling us that there was a meeting by the Deputy Governor on 26th December. 6th January. And we can see they had planned to be receiving at least 70 tons of mango every day from the 7 contracted circles. In these 2 days, when you received excess mangoes, and they were from only 3 circles, who was receiving the mangoes, and what had happened so that we can move from the provided 70 per circle, 10 tons per circle, to so many tons from only 3 circles, and we were all there. Nobody was outside the factory when you are receiving, isn't it? So what happened so that we can receive that excess, so that the farmers can start crying?
Thank you. Member for Emali, and then member for Kane.
Chair, I want to maybe inquire entirely from the board and specifically from the CEO. you knew that we have mangoes that should be bought in between January, February, and March, isn't it? Did you have a procurement plan, an annual procurement plan, based on the approved budget? That's number one. Two, procurement is a procedural matter. What amount of tendering was used by the authority, so that at least you can arrive to those few cooperatives as opposed to the 30 cooperatives across the world, the county? Because I understand several, we've only 5 of them, if not 5, 7. 3, was there not specification because of equitable distribution across the county, so that we don't benefit from certain parts of the county as opposed to the entire county? Wasn't there formal criteria on how you do ensure that there is equity in the supply of the mangoes? 4, in your response you have articulated that in your preparedness, there is number page 19 of this document. You've indicated that in your preparedness on mango purchase for the pre and pure production, there was no approved cabinet paper on that matter, and you had given a guideline on how you, or a methodology that will undercarry to assure there is that purchase of mangoes. In the document, you have indicated that cooperatives should only purchase or supply mangoes from registered members only. Maybe you can clarify that again, as opposed to where we are seeing members cross-cutting different wards in the supply of the mangoes.
Probably we can have them answer those ones first, that we may not load them with a big.
I was just adding something. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm just adding something from what Mheshimiwa SG Mungala had said. Honorable Chair, we need to understand for the 2 days, if their target was 70 tons per day, and we had 7 cooperatives, that means that every cooperative was supposed to bring 10 tons. Does it mean that the other 4 cooperatives, they could not make 10 tons, either on the 8th or on the 9th of that day? Again, Chair, we also need to understand, because in their own methodology which they had proposed, we also need to understand from them. I think this is another question. Honorable Chair. But let me finish. We also need to understand: is it true that those cooperatives, they picked mangoes from their farmers, and if they picked mangoes from their farmers, they went with the schedules they are given in, below method number E, where they are saying within 50 kilometers radius, it is 18 shillings per kg. That narration, because I think they have the document. We also need to get that clarity. One, they tell us if the 2 cooperatives, the 3, which supplied 259, they picked mangoes from their farmers. And again, we also need to understand from the CEO, how comes if the mangoes, if the farmers were notified on the 6th, is it possible, Chair, for 3 cooperatives to get 259 from the farmers, and where they pick them? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I want to be brief. Part of the agreement the document which were to form the agreement was a revised work plan and a program. Why were there oversupply if there was a program and a plan? Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have the last one from the member for Kaya, and then they can respond.
Yes, mine is the team that has left confirmed that you procured a cooperative that had no capacity to purchase mangoes. And a plan was done, which we don't know if it was official, and it is subcontracted to another cooperative. That is the reason why we could see cooperatives buy mangoes in zones that they were not allowed. Can you please provide the documentation on those issues which we are not sure of why some cooperatives are seen buying mangoes from areas they had not been zoned to buy mangoes. And again, I would like through the chair to know the first lorry to step the weighbridge stepped at what time, and its number plates, and the tonnage, and where it had collected the mangoes from. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Chief Accounting Officer.
Thank you, Chair. And among those questions, I will invite some of the officers to respond. And on the first question, on what happened that there was an oversupply, regardless having schedules in place, I request to invite I don't want to call him former, the integrated CEO to respond to that question.
Thank you, Agnes. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, honorable members. The question of supply vis-a-vis the schedule. On the first day of 8, there was an explanation that Madam Agnes was providing. The county government at the authority were visited on 6th, which is a Tuesday, by the Deputy Governor. And the public was informed that we are ready to pick mangoes, and that mango collection would start on 8th. On 8th, as at 8 a.m., when we were getting into the office, there were over 18 lorries that were parked outside the gate of Kalamba Fruit Factory. By around 10, there was a lot of excitement and commotion on how to handle the mangoes that are received. At that point, Mr. Chairman and members, it is important also to bring back, if members would allow, that on December 16th, we did have a meeting between the authority management, and members of the Ward Agricultural Officer, and members of the cooperatives that had been shortlisted, where amongst others, the delivery schedule was presented, the quality and scope of mangoes was presented. So on 8th, when I arrived to the office and found that jam of lorries, we brought the lorries in, given that the fact of the matter was, how do we not collect mangoes that are within the factory, or do we chase the lorries that are out there with mangoes from Makueni? In the meeting of December 16th, allow me to go back and forth, Chairman. In the meeting of December 16th that we had with the Ward Agricultural Officers and the members of the cooperative, it was agreed that for delivery to be made, for us to accept mangoes into the factory, the critical document is the farmer's list. That farmer's list had a pre-printed price of 19 shillings. That farmer's list had, for us to receive it, needed to be stamped by the ward agricultural officer. So on inspections of the lorries that were out there, by and large, all the lorries had the necessary documentation which showed that their farmer's list had been stamped by the ward agricultural officers. The farmers had signed on those letters, and the farmer's list was complete, and that there was no individual who was supplying as an individual, but they were supplying through cooperatives. Given those facts on the face value, the question was, do we allow the lorries in, or do we return mangoes that come from areas with stamped farmers list and suffer consequences? We accepted the first lorries, and sorting of the mangoes started at around 11 a.m. On day one, by the time we were finishing the process in day one, 50 tons had been offloaded. From the weighbridge records that we do have, the first car was offloaded, was a lorry, KTCC 372B from Makueni with 2,960 kgs. 2,960. That's the weighbridge record of 8.
What time? The first car?
The first lorry?
The weighbridge has no timestamp of the particular lorry, but
the number plate?
The number plate is KTCC.
KTCC.
Yes.
That must be a tractor.
Yes, it is a tractor, sorry.
Okay.
Chairman, maybe just a bit. The document we are holding, or the document I have, indicate that the weighbridge has time.
Yes.
And that's why I'm inquiring from you, what time did that vehicle get into there?
The weighbridge timestamp, Mr. Chairman, sir.
Yes,
the weighbridge timestamp, as was provided on 8th of January at 19:57:2022 time, for the period as at 2300 hours. So the timestamp is not specific.
So it, CEO.
Just a minute.
Chair, allow me to read this document I'm holding for granted.
Kidogo tu is clarifying on the same.
Chair, I think we might be going wrong.
11:26, Chairman. Chairman, sorry. Like I said, there could be documents that have been prepared. If I overstep, I have a general report on weighbridge day one. I am being informed which information I believe to be true. Like for mango, 11:26. 11:26 is the first car.
Yes.
Weight one was 6,740.
11:26
11:26 a.m.
Okay.
11:26 a.m. The first weight was 6,740, which is the weight of the lorry with mangoes. The second weight is 3,780, which is the weight of the lorries and any returns that are there. The net weight is 2,960, which is the mangoes that we received. So KTCC 372B. So that was the first lorry at 11:26. And we proceeded to offload, Mr. Chairman, the lorries that were there. By the end of day one, we had offloaded 50 kilograms, 50 metric tons from members.
I was on the floor.
No.
I was not on answer. Yeah, what I'm saying is I am somehow confused because we have the lady, Madam Kitili, who is the MD. Just been the managing director of Kalamba. And the questions that we have brought forward, I think she is in a position to answer the questions, not the interdicted CEO. So I expect to get that information with Mr. Kyoko is giving from the managing director, who is the acting CEO right now.
Through the chair, the former CEO said that when they won in the morning, they found 18 lorries. Were they lorries or tractors? And if they were tractors, it is evident that no tractor could carry more than 3 tons. So, what is not adding up? But let us hear from them. Is it tractors or lorries?
Allow me to say something, because that's what Monique is saying. It is common knowledge that when we have an officer in office and a former in a setup like this interrogation, when the one in office passes the buck and says, let's so and so answer, it clearly means that he or she doesn't want to carry the burden or the blame. So I find it in order on a matter that the acting CEO cannot exclusively speak on her own behalf. I find it in order for her to say, let's so and so answer.
Chair, remember, Madam Kitili has been she's the managing director of Kalamba Prison. Managing director is the person who knows everything. What do you manage if you cannot know what the CEO is doing?
I think, Chair, we need to be guided.
We
are questioning.
Who is the managing director?
We are questioning what happened when Mr. Kyoko, the interdicted CEO, was in office. Yes. So now,
let me correct the honourable member first, because let me correct the honourable member because Madam Kitili is not a managing director of Kalamba. We do not even have a managing director for Kalamba. We have a chief executive officer. Yes. And by the time Mr. Kyoko was a substantive CEO, Madam Kitili was the marketing manager, not the managing director. She was the marketing manager. So in Kalamba, we have a CEO and a marketing manager. We do not have a managing director.
Chairman, on that particular question about the first and second vehicle, I want to highlight something. One, the rolling KCY 151U, as per this document, the number of tonnage, according to the weighbridge, was 9,980. According to the weighbridge, on the same document, the forger that was used to pay, the tonnage is 13,000 kgs. So there is a variance between...
Honourable member, if you could kindly guide the honourable members on the particular document you are referring, so that we may be at par with you.
Maybe, Chair, because it is not serialized, I can give you the document for clarity purposes. But it is a document that the role that was entered at 11:31, which was the second rule, according to the way bridge, the number of kgs were 9,980 kgs. What is contained in the voucher, the payment voucher, the same KCY 151U, the same date, that is 8th of January, by the cooperative, Kika Cooperative. The cooperative representative is Martha Mahida, whose numbers is indicated. The ward agricultural officer is Agnes Diso, who has countersigned the document. It indicates that the tonnage was 13,000.
Up from 9,000.
Up from 9,980. And from collection from Dangu ward. So Dangu, the ward Dangu, we don't have a Dangu ward. So Chair, maybe we can get clarity why the variance just in the second vehicle.
Chairman, from the documents that we have here, it does not seem to be part of the bundles of documents that we've prepared, but the finance manager is also looking so that we can get back.
But it's part of what you submitted.
It's not. It's not.
So Chair, what's the source of the document you brought to us? These are not our documents, these are your documents.
Chairman,
And pass the mic over to the honorable member.
Thank you, Chair, for this opportunity. Should we give you time to consult or? Can I proceed?
Please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The most important thing and what we are dwelling on is the supply that meant on 8th and 9th. And mine, I need some clarification from the board and also the CEO.
Order member. You know we are loading more questions.
Yes.
And the first ones are not yet answered.
So we let them answer first, then we proceed. Thank you.
And if we could be methodical, the first thing, can we be answered on why or how it had been enumerated clearly that each cooperative should bring 10 tons in a day? And in the first day, we have more than 50. In the first and second days, we have more than 100. And more so from specific cooperatives supplying to the tune of 73, when they should have supplied 20.
And that was my question. And it was
Can we first have a question and answer on that?
thank you, Chairman. The order was for cooperatives to bring 10 tons per day. Cumulatively, out of the 500, it was to each cooperative by the end of the production period, they would have brought 83 metric tons. In day one, 3 cooperatives supplied, which is Makueni brought in 25, Kika brought in 9 tons, Mulili Chale brought in 10 tons, Gemlock brought in 3,200. That's 3 tons. Makueni Fruits did not bring. Zakika CDDC did not bring. Kalamba Farmers Cooperative did not bring. There was once we had communicated to the cooperatives to bring, there are those who oversupplied and there are those who undersupplied. At the point of offloading, and if you, Chairman, at the point of offloading, we were dealing with the question of, do we return the lorries that are out here, or do we strictly implement and therefore suffer some social backlash. It was a question of balancing. There is space in the shed. How do we manage to mangoes that have been supplied through the agreed channels and avenues, which is through cooperatives, and the forms have been signed by the Ward Agricultural Officer, and you have shared. If there was no space, then there would have been a problem. But the fact that there was space, I thought best that we allow and save as many mangoes as possible that are coming from Makueni, rather than returning them back and suffering a backlash. In the process, Chair, in day one, we were able to get to offload 50 tons. In day two, that is 9, we were able to offload 134 tons. Each cooperative brought mangoes. Makuo brought 34, Kika brought 15, Makueni brought 21, Mulili Chale brought 26, Nzakika brought 720, Kalamba brought 24, Gemulok brought 8,000. In day 2, they had brought in. It would not have been fair to return.
But
In
my
this
friend,
but there was an
something will not agree, my friend. You clearly have said that you had a meeting with the cooperatives in December 16th, isn't it?
Yes.
On December 16th.
Yes, sir.
And you are told them that each is required to bring 10.
And they say
Per
that's
day.
agreement.
Who is that who would go to take mangoes from farmers and bring 40 when they know that they are required to let in only 10?
That is breaching the contract.
And number two, you as an officer, as the one in charge, you want to tell us that you are so lenient, you are so good, so godly, that you say, oh God, mangoes have already been picked, so let me just take in the... I mean, we have the law to be followed.
Chair,
Chair.
And then again,
Very important, Chair. Because
I have just read your document, and you have read the computation of all those figures. Are those figures the cooked figures or the real figures? Because I understand we have two figures. We have the real figures and the cooked figures. Which figures have you read?
CEO, as you respond, I have something based on what you have submitted to this committee. That is raising on the meeting that you had on the 16th of December. A meeting that you made an agreement with the cooperatives on the modality of supply. And one key requirement for admission of supply was the delivery was supposed to be accompanied by duly filled and signed farmers list witnessed by the ward agricultural officer at the ward of origin. This is my question to you, and you have said that you have told us that this form had a pre-marked price and it was supposed to have a stamp by the ward agricultural officer. This is my question to you, Mr. CEO. Other than, because you told us you checked, you found a queue of lorries and you checked if they had the farmers list, and you have confirmed to this committee that truly they had a farmer list. This is my question. Other than the farmers list that you checked from the lorries that were supplying mangoes to the factory, what other measure did you employ to ascertain the origin of this supply?
Thank you, Chairman. Allow me to start with the question of the figures. Which figures are we working with?
Yes.
The figures that we are working with are based on the farmers list, the weighbridge report that we have, that confirms what we received, what was delivered, and that forms the basis of payment after verification. That is, I believe, the true note in terms of figures. In terms of asking what other measures did you employ to ensure that the supply was from Makueni? Chairman and honorable members, when I joined the authority in September, one of the things I learned was that mango is a political season, and that there are certain things that must be done. As an authority, and in the meeting that we had with the ward agricultural officers and the cooperatives, part of the agreed thing and commitment that we got from the ward agricultural officer is that their stamp will be the basis of us accepting the documents. Because as an authority, I was made to understand, and I know that we do not have a budget to go outside and verify. We depended on two things. Per the contract that we signed with the cooperatives, is that farmers can only supply through the cooperatives. And secondly, for the cooperative or the farmers list to be brought to us, it must be stamped by the ward agricultural officer. The ward agricultural officer to us was at the center and front for the verification of supply. Once the stamp of the ward agricultural officer was there in the document, I feel as an authority, we could do nothing about subsequent documentation.
Chair, on that question, there's no clear response. Let us give the response. Yeah.
Just what the former CEO has responded, it has not been very clear. Maybe I can repeat it to you. There is a ticket number 2, weighing number 2, as per this document, of a registration vehicle KCY 151U, supplier number 2. The driver was driver number 60, Alex Mutua, from clerk number 1. The supply was 9,980. That is what was supplied. The receipt, the stamped document, which you are purporting to have followed, contains 13,000 kilograms. So, which document have you utilized to tabulate those figures you have told us? Because this is the document which was used for payment from the ward officer, one Agnes Bisso.
Thank you.
Let's have the mic to Honorable Ndolo.
Thank you. As we proceed, it is good also, we would like to know from the board and the CEO that, one, the document we are using here, it is a document that came from you, which has the farmers list as per the consignment that you received on 8th and 9th. And it is good what Mheshimiwa Mutunga is reading. It is a document that came from the board. And your primary role, as the CEO has narrated, was to verify whether this mango came from Makueni. And the basis of that verification was based on the form you have submitted. That is the farmers list. One, did you verify those forms to confirm the mango came from the farmers in those particular ward? Two, do you have the officer who was verifying the documents here with you at the gate? Because that verification is very key to us. We would like to know, yes, he verified, because such an anomaly from the form which is being read here by Mheshimiwa needs to have been seen. You have also said after noticing, after the outcry, you set an ad hoc team. I think the team was meant to do also further verification to establish the mangoes you are receiving are actually from our farmers in the particular areas. In that line, because if you own that, there is an attention I would like to draw in the same form where such anomaly cannot pass the eye. Yeah. So can you tell us whether this document, this farmers list you have submitted here, really came from Kalamba?
Proceed.
Thank you. And through the chair, to answer that question, I would like to take my honorable members through our process of receiving mangoes at the factory. So when we contracted the 7 suppliers, we, of course, as the CEO has put it, we gave them a daily schedule. So what happens at the gate is that once a driver arrives with a consignment of mangoes, they are able to register at the gate and they give a farmer's list. A farmer's list is the first document that we actually check before we even want to know how many tons that you have. Then according to order of arrival, the driver then is able to go to what we call quality checks. At the quality checks, again, we have a pre-inspection list, or rather a pre-inspection checklist that is done by the quality guys. And before they admit you, you have to give the farmer's list that is duly filled, stamped, and signed by the World Agricultural Officer. The reason why we engage the WOWs through the Department of Agriculture, as again the CEO has put it, is because we do not have the infrastructure to go all the way back to the field. And I think this is allowed because we are anchored under the Department of Agriculture. So we use the extension services to be able to ascertain that this is done. So for our verification, the farmer's list is actually our first document that we check. So once we receive a farmer's list that has whatever we have said, there is a signature, a stamp, and date from the world of origin, the lorry is now able to go to the checklist. Once it has fulfilled our check for quality, which includes maturity, disease, sunburns, and all that, then the lorry proceeds to the first weight, and that is where we get the weighbridge receipt. Whatever is on that farmer's list might not always be actually the weight of the lorry, and this is actually evident from what Honorable Member you're saying, because you see the estimate there is around 13 tons. When you open the same weighbridge receipt of KCY 151U, you will find that the first weight is 16.6 tons. This is the weight of the lorry plus the mangoes. When it goes to the second weight, okay, when we do the first weight, then we go to offloading.
The difference now.
Yes, during offloading, we are able to do further sorting, and we reject mangoes that do not meet our specifications. Because remember, during the first quality check, we only do sampling, but the actual offloading now is what informs what we actually receive. So after sorting, the lorry goes back to take weight 2. The weight 2 of that lorry is 6.6 tons. When you check the clean weight, it is 9,980 kilograms. And that is what goes to the invoice. And that is what we pay, and not what is on the farmer's list.
Then that is too different with what was paid.
I want to appreciate that information, Chair.
I want to appreciate that information. Now, here there is the forged document, another receipt, bearing the same names, the same numbers, the same figures, except that 4,000 weight is cancelled to 980, bringing now the 998 tabulation. We have 2 documents bearing the same information. The suppliers, the farmers were Judy Mwende, Caroline Nkina, and Maureen Titus. That Maureen, Judy had supplied 4,000, but you cancelled to 900, to a figure 980. Caroline remains 6,000. Maureen Titus, it remained 3,000 from the previous document. Both has different weighing measurements, kgs from the weigh bridge. They have attachments. And both was from Kika Cooperative. And just the same vehicle, it is the same vehicle. It is the second supplier. It is
a document they don't have.
Honorable Chair, protect me.
We can share the document.
Protect me, Chair.
So that we are on the same level.
Chair, the document I'm holding, the receipt from the weighing machine with the same registration, KCY. It is from County Government Makueni, the Kalamba Food Processing Plant. The registration number KCY 151U, the supplier number 2, just similar to the other one. It has a difference of 9440 kgs. So now I am worried because it is the second vehicle, the same registration, 2 different vouchers, 2 different figures with the same suppliers. So why is that confusion?
And should, after sorting, should it increase or decrease?
Thank you. I'll take the second first.
Maybe now I can raise my issue. Chair, Honorable Member for Emali Mulala is reading a document that, to me, it appears the CEO and the acting CEO don't have. You have the document he's reading.
That's why I asked if you own the document.
Because if they don't have the document, it's very difficult for us to proceed.
Chair, let me maybe supply the document to them and report this. On 10th, Chair, this document I'm reading was stamped on 10th January. The same document was with the same driver, same registration, the second vehicle. It was also the same vehicle which was recorded on 8th.
What is the origin of the document you have, Honorable Member?
Chair, you can have it.
It is a document they submitted, I think, during the Agriculture Committee findings. That is one of the documents the farmers list.
The source. You it is the source.
They don't have it.
Wow. Where did you get these are documents which came from the farmers. You have not come with the farmers list.
Also, Chair, as you supply that document to them, she has indicated that the first document to check is the members list. Okay? I want to take you to Gemlock Food Producers Cooperative, and named by Eric Mongela and Leonard Chok, who are not members of that cooperative society. But they supplied under that name, and they indicated they are from Bitini Ward. And I know one is from Kachivani, which is in Emali, and the other one is from Welfare, which is in Emali. And they are not members of Gemlock. You can note the name Eric Mongela and Leonard Kyoko. Thank you.
Honorable members, we are, we are mixing issues. And as I said, we need to be methodical. We shoot this question before they answer. Another member should answer.
So many questions.
No, you have to wait for us to exhaust the first question, because we were on the first question of the oversupply. Before we exhausted, member for Mali came up with the issue of the
overpayment.
Yes.
Let's proceed.
So let's be methodical.
If analyze with this one from member of Emali, then get to that overpay.
On the first issue of a supply, from where I sit, we have no answer. Mr. MD, former, just honor that kuna sarakasi. We proceed.
Chairman, respectfully, I beg to present an alternative view. In that, we were confronted with the question of, do we return mangoes from Makueni Or do we accept that?
What was the agreement?
Mr. CEO, I think it's very clear to every one of us that you told us, based from the meeting that you had on the 16th of December, you made an agreement with the cooperatives that every cooperative is supposed to supply how many tons of mangoes per day? How many tons of mangoes per day?
10.
10.
Yeah.
Then on the 8th of January 2026, how many tons of mangoes did you receive?
50.
50. The 50 tons of mangoes were received from which cooperatives?
From three cooperatives
From
instead
three,
of 5?
from 3 cooperatives instead of 4 cooperatives instead of 4,
Yes.
instead of 7. Okay? The 4 that supplied, which one was within limit and which one was outside the limit that you had agreed?
On day 1, Makueni had supplied 25,000.
From where?
Yes. No, let's just listen. 25,000 tons. That is 25 tons. 25 tons.
25.
Excess of 15.
Excess of 15. Kika had supplied 9 tons, 9,980 kgs.
It was within.
Mulili Chale had supplied 10,900.
900. In excess of 900.
Instead of 900. Gemlock had supplied 3,200.
Below. Day 2, on the 9th.
Day 2, Makueni had supplied 36,000. Kika had supplied 15,000. Makueni fruit brought 21,000. Mulili Chale brought 26,000. Gemlock brought 8,000. Zakika CDDC brought 720. Kalamba fruit farmers brought 24,700.
The 3rd day, CEO.
I'm trying to, it's not summarized.
Before we get to the 3rd day, Mr. CEO, are we in agreement that there was breach of contract based on the information you have given on the 2 days? For instance, on Makueni was supposed to have supplied 10 tons on the 8th of January, but instead supplied in excess of 15 tons. And on the 2nd day, they supplied in excess of 26.4 tons. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Was there a breach of contract?
Yes, there was.
What supported the breach of contract?
In terms of documentation or in terms of?
You have a cooperative that you've made an agreement that they supply you with 10 tons in a day. But instead, they supply you excess. Why do you accept the excess?
Chairman, respectfully, again, Chairman, the question of accepting excess was based on an understanding or my fear that had I returned these mangoes and turned them back at the gate,
Mr. CEO, what was the reason, Mr. CEO, what was the reason for the agreement for the respective cooperatives to supply 10 tons?
So in short, Mr. CEO, what he is asking is what I wanted to ask. The agreement to supply 10 tons per cooperative was arrived at collectively.
Yes.
Is that so, in a meeting?
Yes.
What about the decision to allow extra 10 per day? Was it your personal decision, or you consulted and agreed and minuted like you did when you agreed on 10?
And Chair, was there a work plan?
Of course, the work plan is there, that 10, that is the work plan. You
Yes.
supply 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So, and we agree that each is bringing 10, 10, 10, 10. And then they bring extra. And out of your own volition, out of your own decision, you allow more than 10. When that decision had been made collectively.
Chair again, and then the following day, Chair, the following day, he accepts, let's say the first day, he accepted anyway, right? Then how come the following day, the same cooperative does more than, in fact, it doubles what it brought yesterday, and the same CEO says, now, you know, we cannot block these mangoes. So jana ukaelewa, leo ukaelewa, na kesho kutwa ukaelewa, yani wewe ni kuelewa tu. What you planned in the 16th of December, you cannot implement in January.
Na sio usitu convince ya kuwa mtu anaweza beba, anajua na I'm required to submit 10 tons. Then anaenda anabuy more than 10. And I bring more than 10. Anafikiri atapeleka wapi? Ni lazima alikuwa ameambiwa wewe leta mali.
So that we can be clear, CEO. The decision to supply 10 was collective,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The decision to accept excess, was it collective or individual?
The decision to accept more was based on the numbers of rolling
No.
that were there.
No, I'm not asking.
It
I
was
was based.
individual. It was individual.
Yours.
Thank you. Proceed.
Yeah, can we go to the next issue that the member addressed?
Let's go to the next issue.
About documents that are not tallying, and what I say, let me bring out my guess about the 4,000, 6,000, and the way is very different. I bet I can guess what happened. This is a consignment that is coming from one person. In a situation where we have a farmers list with 4 farmers, they would weigh from the farms and say, Jonathan Kimongo, yako ni 4,006. Joseph Mutuko, yako ni hii. But in a situation where all that consignment is mine, whether from whichever source, I don't need to weigh. I can approximate, this is like 4,000. Because the way when the list is long is to ascertain ni ngapi imeingia kwa hiyo lori ya huyu na ni ngapi imeingia kwa huyu. But when I know all this consignment is mine, I will just say it's 4,000. And then ukienda kupima inakuletea kitu kingine. Na ndio unaona you need to approximate, we just say this is roughly 4,000. Even me when I'm selling mangoes, ikiweko hapo I approximate hii ni kama 2,000. Na naenda zangu, naachia mfanyikazi hapo anakuja akipima, ikikuja 2,100 najua iko sawa. That approximation is what led to these full numbers. Unaona 4,000 exact, unaona 6,000. Lakini ikienda kupimwa ni kitu kingine. So CEO, this gives credence to the allegation that some of these mangoes were not being sourced from individual definite farmers.
Again, Chair, the same. Chair, you find that like three farmers producing close to 40 tons. Yet a corporate has almost 30 members and cannot only 3 are producing. There are some questions which need to be answered. How comes a corporate has more than 30 members, but only 3 from the list of share are producing 19, 20, 30? Is it possible? Where are the other members?
Chair, it seems like it's like we are not together with the team, because the documents we are looking at, this document came from Kalamba. True? If they came from Kalamba and you have told us your primary role was to verify the consignment which was coming in, we would like to know from the officer who was verifying these farmers list. Because the farmers list we are having here are the ones which have anomalies. And we want to establish why the anomalies are, like what Mheshimiwa is reading, the difference in kgs from the weighbridge and what is written from the farmers list. Also, from the meeting which you had on the 16th and the contract which you signed with the suppliers, that is the pre-qualified cooperatives, you said also that the cooperatives, they were zoned to buy mangoes in particular areas. And from here, you realize that there is a cooperative which was not allowed to buy mangoes in Emali Mulal, but they found its way to Emali and brought abnormal tonnages from one farm. So I want to believe, we want to know who verified those documents so that we can also share some of the farmers list here which we feel they were forged. Please.
Response on that as we progress?
Chairman, I think if we go back to the KCY 151, Chairman and members, from the records that we have here, stamped on 10, received on 10, it shows the net weight is 9,440. No, 440.
Yes.
9,440. Okay, is the net weight.
Yes.
Is the net weight, honorable members, for the KCY 151U. Yeah, that is what was received, and that is what formed the basis of payment. Then the other one, KCY 151U, received on 8th, it shows that the net weight is 9,980 kgs from our end. And the basis, and that tallies with the weighbridge report that we have in here.
Chairman, we are in agreement totally with him. This is my question. The document I'm holding and the document that gives access to the rolling to go through the weighing machine originates from this stamped authorization document from the ward officer. The document that we stamped on 10th, that which you are, according to you, had 9440 kgs, the hard copy of it, that which you accepted, has the same mango supplier Judith Mwende with 4,000. The signature is different from the first document, but Mwende's is cancelled from 4,000 to 980. It has Caroline Gainer, the same 6,000. For the price was 100,014. The signature is different from that of Haid, but the information is right the same. Where Caroline supplied was the second person in the third holder, the same holder. But this time around, when Caroline Gainer was from Wotensio, from that document of Haid, Caroline Gainer was from Kikilala. Maureen Titus, who is the third in that holder, is from Wotensio, who supplied 3,000, worth 57,000. From the other document, the same person who is also the third person has supplied 3,000 from Kilala, 57,000, with different signatures, but the same people. The ward officer who countersigns those documents is Agnes Biso. And the person who from the cooperative, the representative from the cooperative, is one Mother Maida. Is it this same document that has been forged and which you are using to tabulate those figures and to account for those. So what will lead us to accept those figures, Chair? If this, we can practically see lies and cooking of information. And this is the second role, my cue, Chair. This is the second role to get into the factory. If the second role we are getting this, what of the rest?
A quick response.
So the actual was the 10. The contractors were okay, they brought 10. The others are cooked.
Chairman, the basis of us, honorable members, the basis of us receiving mangoes is based on the stamp by the ward agricultural officers. Once the document has been stamped by the ward agricultural officer, we believe some of the questions you are raising best can be answered by the ward agricultural officer to explain who is Ngina, where did you get this. In the matter of the weighting, in the matters of the weights, our weighbridge report forms a centerpiece of how we process pay. Now the handwritten reports there might show a lorry has come with 20 tons, but weight 1 is a true figure that shows this lorry getting in here is this much. This is the true figure. Weight 2 is the true figure of after offloading. This is what the lorry is exiting. The net weight is what forms the basis of processing of payment. What is unwritten in that form is a wish list, honorable members. What appears, what is written in that form, honorable members, is estimation by eyes. I think my lorry is 20 tons or 10 tons, it nimejaza 16. What happens is, for verification purposes, the weighbridge confers us comfortability and confidence in terms of what is the true weight.
Let me ask something.
Mr. CEO.
On that,
And at what time, Honorable Chair, at what time the officer went to cancel the 400 just...
Do you need to make a certain consignment of puree? And as you answer that, you also answer, how many tons of mangoes did you procure?
Thank you, Chairman. Our conversion is at 0.5. For every kilo of mango that is bought, 0.5 is converted into puree.
Yes.
Because of the loss of the seed and the loss of the outer covering. This year, we bought 870 metric tons of mangoes. We have been able to process...
No, don't tell me what you processed. Tell me how much puree do you process from 1 ton?
1 ton is 1,000 kilograms.
Yes.
Yeah? Then divide by 0.2, multiply by 0.5, so that will be 500 puree. When it is stored in a drum of 215 kg, that gives you on average 2.2 drums.
2 drums.
Yeah.
So for 870 tons, we need to get how many drums?
2,230.
So are you through with production of the 870 metric?
Yes.
So if we go to your store, we will get 2,200 drums?
Yes, sir.
If we confirm, can we confirm that?
2,230, yes. 2,213.
Because from the math, from what you bought this year, 870 metric tons, you should be having 2,200 drums of puree.
For this
True?
year.
For this year.
Balances.
True?
For this year.
For this year, because we have the tabulation for what you had.
Balances from
yes.
the previous year.
What you have
for what you have processed.
We should be having 20.
Don't calculate the real what is in the stock. You don't have to calculate.
No, I want what the math says that we can confirm from what you have in the store.
Yes.
1 ton.
Maybe
1 ton is equivalent to 2 drums.
Yeah.
Right?
By telling us what we have.
Mr. CEO, You are saying, for Madam CEO, you are saying you bought 870 metric tons, which translates to how many drums of puree?
Through the chair, the estimated yield is usually between 50 to 54%. That is what he has explained. So if we calculate, we bought 870 metric tons. 870, 180 kgs to be precise.
Yes.
If you multiply by 50%, it's supposed to give you 435,090 kilograms of puree. If you divide further by 215, which is the volume of 1 drum, it's supposed to give you 2,023 drums.
2,003 drums.
Yes.
So if we come to your stores, we will get 2,023 drums manufactured this year.
Surprisingly, we'll get more than that. We were able to process 2,213.
2,200.
What is the previous year's balance?
No, it is the production from this year.
No, I'm saying in the store you have the balances plus what you produced this year.
Yes.
So what is the balance for the previous year?
652 drums.
600.
Yes.
So you have a total of 2,800 grams.
No, 2,630. In the 2030 plus 600.
I think she has 20.
I said we have 2,213.
Oh.
If you calculate as per the conversion rate, that gives you a conversion rate of 54%. So we had a very good yield. Yes.
So when we come to the plant, you get 2,800 and something.
drums.
Yes, you get 13 plus
Plus
652. Yes, you will get it. So,
What other additives do you add in the puree? Water, food?
honorable member for care. That is our trade secret. But anyway, our mango is 100% pure. We don't add any. Sure.
That we may get out
Thank
of
you.
that illusion of ghost mangoes. Let me ask: Is there a company you've not paid, a corporation you've not paid? How much is it?
From Annex 4, that is on page 21, we have an analysis of mango's payment report, and we have so far paid 15,445,600, and we still have unpaid amount of 4,695,480.
Why is this not paid?
If you check on the last comments on column, the last column of comments, there are comments on why these payments have not been paid. Some of them are waiting verification.
No, we'll stop at that. How many people have been calling you in a day to claim their payment? Have you received anyone calling?
Yes, we actually have a lot of complaints from with the cooperatives. They are the only person that has
not the
contacted us.
cooperatives. I'm talking about the farmers. Because a farmer who supplied mangoes on 8th of January, and today is 12th of February, 13th, and is not paid, we'll be making noise everywhere.
You should be getting complaints.
Yes, we'll be making noise everywhere. But a cooperative that knows that tulifanya mazinga and has not been paid would be quiet, but advantageous julikani.
Yes, yes. The truth is.
Yeah.
So, Honorable Member, just to answer you, we are not getting calls from farmers because we have contractual obligations to the cooperative societies.
Leave alone yourself.
But
Even
us,
we
us.
ourselves will be getting.
Us
If there was a farmer from Ukia who is not paid, they will be calling the member every other day.
and the complaints.
Take that from me.
Chair, can we get the list from them? Because they have the farmers list. From those cooperatives, can we get that list?
But others were not in the cooperative as I indicated, and I gave them names.
We
You
assume
agree?
that
You agree? I gave you names who are not that cooperative. Game block.
Maybe just to clarify that through the chair, when you check the attachment on minutes, that is Annex, should be Annex 3, on the agreement framework on how we would purchase mangoes. On the minutes, it states that the cooperatives were supposed to buy mangoes for the members.
Only.
only. That is
members
on minutes.
And the word is on only.
Yes, but in our contract with the farmers, or rather in our contract with the cooperatives, the key contract terms, and I'm reading from page 5, on the question that asked details of procurement process and all that, just to bring out the key contract terms included in the contract, which again are attached as Annex 5B. The terms are conformity to the schedule for harvesting and collection as communicated by the procuring entity. All deliveries to be accompanied by duly signed, duly filled and signed farmers list, witnessed by the World Agricultural Officer. Farmer to be paid a minimum of 19 shillings. Offloading at the factory will be done by the authority for scheduled deliveries only, and cooperatives to pay their members within 24 hours upon receipt of funds from the authority. What I'm trying to bring out is that the agreement to bring to only purchase from members is not captured in the contract.
No, it is. Number 10, cooperative to pay their members. What does their members mean? What does their members mean in that contract?
But also too is articulate as in answering this. All deliveries should be accompanied by a duly filled and signed farmers list. Do we have the list for the two days? 9th, 8th, and 9th? I think we need that one, Chair.
Also, through the chair. Ni hiyo tu I'm asking, eh?
You see, this is what we're talking about.
It is the same thing.
You are bringing in an issue of the farmers list when they've not answered what Mheshimiwa
Yes,
is asking.
cooperative to pay their members. Oh, their members.
It's just a rider on what Mheshimiwa is also raising. CEO, from your agreement with the contractors, yeah, and the contract which is being read here, these cooperatives were supposed to buy mangoes from their members. Are we together? That is what the contract says. Now, I want to believe you have shared with us the list of the cooperatives and their members. Also, during your verification, you have also established that the members, the farmers who have supplied as per the farmers list are the same members in the cooperatives. In this form, we have members or farmers who have supplied and they are not members of the cooperatives. And they,
as you answer that,
so,
you need to be reminded that these 7 cooperatives come from not more than 4 wards. Is that true? Zakika, Wote, Makindu, and the Malmulana. Only those 4. We have 16 wards that produce mangoes. And you don't expect, as it were, most of these cooperatives are domiciled within 1 ward. Is that true? So if we have 7 cooperatives representing 4 wards, and we have 12 other wards where there are no membership, and with this agreement, how did you expect these cooperatives to buy mangoes from the other 12 wards?
Through the chair, allow me to read our submission on number 5. It will shed more light on your question.
No.
And this is the question asks us to provide details of the procurement process used to identify the SACCOs and CBOs contracted to supply mangoes to the authority in the financial year 25-26. In brackets include list of cooperatives, areas allocated, period of supply, and types of payment. So in our response, we are saying the procurement of mango suppliers was undertaken in strict compliance with the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015, which requires public entities to procure goods and services through competitive processes using legally recognized contracting entities. Kindly take note of the word legally recognized contracting entities.
And the competitive.
Yes, and again you can also note the word competitive.
Yes.
So in line with this, which is now the Act Procurement Framework, the authority advertised an open tender for the supply and delivery of mangoes. That is a link to the PPIP portal, which shows you the tender document that was floated. And just to clarify on that, we had to float the tender twice. because the first one was non-responsive. What I want to highlight on that is that we actually, and I think I want to confirm, we have a gap or we have a problem in the way cooperative movements are operated in Makueni County. But for us to be able to give these people tender and to be able to contract them, we need them to have documents that are required by the PPDA Act. So our basis of award was only based by those that were able to meet our technical evaluation criteria. And these now were the 7 cooperatives. The tender was evaluated by a duly constituted evaluation committee against approved technical and financial criteria, and 6 cooperative societies emerged to be successful and were subsequently contracted for 2 years. Again, following the introduction of NAFCDP project, which builds on grassroots institutions and mangoes being one of the value chains being promoted, the authority brought on board an additional supplier. The successful supplier was the Kika CDDC. Now that brings to our total 7 cooperatives. What I'm trying to highlight here is that we are bound by the Public Finance Act and the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, being a public entity, that we have to follow set rules and regulations that are in the 2 acts that I've read.
CEO, thank you. Congratulations for abiding by the Act. But let me ask you, is it not a fallacy to send an advert showing that this cooperative should buy mangoes from this ward, this ward, this ward, capturing the 16 mango producing wards? And yet, there is a point in the agreement that says buy from your farmers. And there are no farmers in those other 12 wards. Is it not duping the farmers from those 12 wards? Proceed and ask.
Okay. From what she has said, she has indicated during the procurement, they looked the technical part and the financial part. Can you confirm to this committee that all the companies in the capacity, that part of financial part?
That is the same thing.
Through the chair, if we allowed, we can submit the document. That is another file that was used to procure all these 7 cooperatives, where all these documents that the honorable members are requesting are based there. That will show the evaluation criteria that actually it will show all the way from the tender document that was advertised, what it captured, and what these cooperatives were able to submit, and where they were the ones that were awarded. If that is in order.
I'm not answered. I've asked her to confirm if, from where she sits, all the committees had financial capability. That is what I'm asking.
Yes, according to the evaluation criteria, and by virtue of us having awarded them, yes, they meet whatever criteria we had set.
Thank you. And are you aware that some of the cooperatives were subcontracting other people to get the mangoes for them? Is it in the knowledge of the plant that happened?
I may not conclusively say yes or no, but in the spirit of continuous improvement, we have actually in the coming years, because this is a problem that has happened, and I think it's clear to honorable members that so far we have a lapse in our cooperatives, we have our lapse in the verification process that included the ward agricultural officers. So we have to put in place mechanisms that assure us that farmers are not duped anymore come the next financial year. And I think this is a measure that has also been put by or suggested by the agriculture department, that we have a 1 ward cooperative, multi-value chain cooperative, so that we are able actually to monitor and ascertain that all these farmers that we are talking about are based in that ward. So we beg to learn lessons from whatever happened to that and put better mechanisms in future.
Yeah. Thank you, honorable members.
I think the question has not been answered.
Some of this question, honorable members, may never get an answer. It's upon you to derogate the answer that is being given, however wayward it may be.
Chair,
Yeah.
if some of the cooperatives are found culpable of having breached the contract, either by subcontracting, so that the farmers end up getting less price for their produce, or by oversupplying, or whatever other breach. Are there measures that you're going to put in place to act on those cooperatives as an entity? Thank you.
Honorable member, even before the answer, they will just give us an ovation. If there was anything that would have been done, it would have already have been done on the second day.
Yes.
When a breach was done on the first day. So I beg that we don't get an answer for that.
Should we stop?
Because there will just be stories. There will just be stories. If there was a punitive measure that they would take, it would have already been taken.
So, Chair, you seem to have performed mine. So, should we stop the interrogation?
The Chair.
No, you see, it's not about stopping. But my issue is this: we may ask some questions that have a clear answer. Because, like what Honorable Mutindi is asking, what would they have done? What would they do? And they didn't do. They should have done, because there was breach of contract right from day one. So whatever they want to answer now that they can do, they should have done.
Maybe they don't know if there was breach up to this point.
Sorry?
Maybe they had not known that there was breach up to the point we started raising this issue.
Okay.
But are they willing to now take drastic measures on those cooperatives that breached? That is all I want to know. Yes or no?
From them.
And what action also they
Actually, CEO, that is yours because you are the one on the seat.
Thank you. Through the chair, I think with all due honesty, it's okay to admit that there was breach of contract. It's okay to admit that mistakes happened. And from the actions taken by the board after realizing that there was a problem, I think the actions show, or rather, the actions point out to the will by the authority to try and rectify what was done wrong. And through this, again, as we said, there is another committee that was appointed and has not yet submitted the report to the reporter. We are looking forward to a report that can help us streamline our future operations. So yes, we admit there was breach of contract.
Thank you.
Chair, noting that and agreeing that there were mistakes, it is also good that I inform the team that we are elected members, and most of the farmers from our wards didn't benefit, and we might suffer some severe consequences. And before then, if due investigation is done and we find out that it was someone's fault, I think it will not be that bad for the person to be surcharged and the money used to support our farmers who are our electors and the people who brought us to power. So it was good. We take this matter very seriously, because it might be taken as a joke and we are in a mess. I thought that information should be taken very well.
And I find that as a summary, that statement seems like summing up everything. Honorable members, unless
the last one, Chair.
We are asking something that might not be answered from the written submissions.
No, I'm asking her
if
she owns this document and what she's calling this document. This document, do you want it?
Yes.
Can I take you to Annex 6, where there are those names? Are you there?
Yes.
There's that part with quantity in terms of pages and the comments. How do you verify someone who has supplied and there is no quantity? And you say verify.
Thank you. Through the chair, this is a report that was submitted by the committee that was formed by the CCM Agriculture to verify the mangoes delivered to the authority.
But you have said you want the document, but there is no quantity. But the comment is verified.
Were they verifying nothing?
You are verifying what?
Some have the weight, others do not have, but they are verified.
Honorable Member, the blank spaces advised are a track that had several farmers on the same list.
But okay, I want to agree with you, but you can find that there is amount, then unverified, then verified. Then the other one is unverified.
Yes, because in a farmer's list you call every farmer. Some are reachable and some are not.
So I want to take you to page 63 on that one, where we have members from PT. I tried to call them. None of those members come from PT. So that is misleading this committee. Thank you.
Chair, on the same document, the same pages. Maybe when the CEOs are ready, I will proceed. Thank you. That Annex 6, which is page 55, I will be specific on 2 persons. The 5th person from the last, who is Judith Mwende from Kilala, number 07972838, page 55. And the same from bottom, number 8, the same Judith Mwende, the same number, but now this time around from Wote, 0. Those are 2, that is the same person from 2 different wards. Were some people buying as brokers? And that's why we can see someone from different wards, the same name. Or what was the criteria of a person, the same person supplying from different wards? 2, the amount of supply. Because I can see from the same document on where we have the vehicle registrations from Kalamba Fruit Farmers, they were using vehicle number 17CG G096A. What was the criteria where some farmers can use count vehicles and the rest should hire their own vehicles? Was that not discriminative? Thank you.
Through the chair, allow me to take the first question, how the same person would have supplied mangoes from 2 different wards. And without seeming to shift blame, I think the ward agricultural officers are in position to answer how they ascertained that a farmer can actually be from Wotenzio and at the same time from Kilala ward without shifting blame. Thank you.
The question is, are there farmers who were given vehicles from the counties to supply and others not? Because 17 is a county government vehicle.
Thank you, Chair. If you allow me, I will pass on to Mr. Justice Kyoko to answer to that.
Thank you, members. Thank you, Chair. During the height of the crisis that we are in, honorable members, there were certain requests we were getting of areas that mangoes were ready and they were lacking transport, and we sought interventions. The lorry was being fueled by the person or the cooperative that was fueling it so that they could help. farmers uptake mangoes and bring to our place. So yes, the lorry was available. If a request was made, provided you fuel it and would not utilize the resources of the authority.
It was part of the contract.
It was not part of the contract, but there was a crisis and we were helping to alleviate the problems that we were facing.
But that's a contractor.
Okay.
Maybe when you provide them with a government vehicle, were you giving them the same price of the mango as the others who have used their own vehicle, or they had a special price?
Before you answer that one, there are rates under the Finance Act on how to hire government vehicles. They pay tax this county
Based on the Finance Act.
That I need to confirm. Honorable members, I need to confirm that.
You are the ones issuing. Supposed to inform you.
It's okay. Honorable members, you will confirm. Honorable Mutindi, you have something to say?
No further questions.
Members, can you allow that we hear from the MD, not the MD, the chair of the board, and chair, your task will be so simple. Just explain this committee what you found in the CEO that necessitated you to interdict you.
Thank you, Chair.
Disclaimer.
I need
would
to
you,
be guided.
would you be comfortable to say that in the presence of the CEO, or
Not-
we release him?
Not really.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Mr. CEO, you had indicated that you want to say something in their absence. Is there anything that you've not said that probably you can say, or you are exhausted? Because if it's not there, you just release it.
Honorable members and chairman, the question you asked last, in all fairness, places me in an awkward position.
Which one?
So that even if I needed to say something, I think I best not say it. So,
Which one?
No, the question of the reason that I was interdicted or anything, I would like, just based on that, to be recused. Because I need to also be granted fair administrative justice. I also need to be heard. And factors that I think could have or might have not happened. And therefore for me to sit here would not be fair to me, because I would be hearing it for the first time.
No.
So I think in fairness, Chairman and members.
CEO, you say you would be hearing it for the first time. I thought in the letter that they sent to you, they should have indicated we are taking this measure because of ABCD.
Chair, I would, like I said, I would hope and beg that if that discussion was to happen, that it be accorded due process. I think, and like I said, fair administration.
CEO.
And that I be expected.
And then we are asking, before you leave, for the board to explain the reason for your interdiction, do you feel there is anything that probably before they give us the reasons,
or after they give us,
or after the because if there is anything that you would need to share with the committee before probably we give the board time to give their reason, so that probably we may excuse them, so that you share whatever you have with the committee, so that maybe we can compare whatever we have gotten from you and their reason for us to make a determination.
Thank you, Chairman and members. The presentation I thought I would make at the tail end of this was not about matters dismissal.
Okay.
I thought it was more about the events of aid and how else we can help alleviate the challenges that we found. I did not think that this then would become a forum to prosecute my matter. And understand to be guided.
The reason we are asking the chairman to shed light on your interdiction is because the chairman is not involved in the day-to-day running of the factory, right? So the only role of the chairman and the board on this matter is your interdiction. Okay? Now then, because you are the accounting officer that time, before they give us this reason on why they interdicted the accounting person, do you think there is something that you need to share with the committee in their absence that probably may form the basis for a determination?
Yes, I had indicated that earlier, Chairman, but it was not about matters.
Then on that basis, we will ask them to step outside.
Then they come back.
Then they come back.
You can start, right?
Or because it's one against many, he can step out, the CEO can step out, they finish, and then he comes back. Instead of letting 5 go out and come back.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
An interdiction letter which he was given, they might have highlighted issues and the reasons why they have done. They can be done separately. Highlighted issues and the reasons why they have done. They can be done separately. Yeah. So any other issues based on what we are investigating, that is the mangoes which were supplied on 8th and 9th. That is what we would want to hear from the board.
Our guess is that the interdiction has everything to do with
mangoes.
Mangoes.
Yes. Yeah.
Allow the chair to proceed.
Yeah, proceed.
Thank you.
Recall,